Earl Stewart on Cars. Mystery Shopping Report. Let me talk about Jeff Weinseer. Now, if you're not from South Florida, you might not know who he is. He's the investigative reporter, and Channel 10 is a Miami television station, WPLG, and Jeff has been with them for quite a while. The thing that sets WPLG apart from a lot of the television stations anywhere is they have the courage to go out and if they see deception or they see cheating or lying with a commercial, whether it's car dealerships or anybody that's breaking the law, they're not afraid to do the investigative reporter thing and tell the truth. So Jeff Weinseer did that, just exactly that. He initiated the Attorney General of the state of Florida going in to the Gunther Auto Group, and that's about a dozen dealerships, a very, very large group of dealers in Florida and other states as well, because they were violating the Truth in Leasing Act going back to 1976, and that Leasing Act protects the consumer against dealers adding onto the purchase option price in their lease. Now, the law says, black and white, very simple, the purchase option price on a lease is the price that you pay. You can't add anything to that price. They can't charge you for dock fees. They can't charge you for preparing the car for delivery. They can't charge you for washing the car. And that was going on fraudulently and still is, unfortunately, I'm sure, in a lot of dealerships. But the Gunther Group was one of the first to really get caught, and Jeff Weinseer exposed that last week. It was all over the news nationally, and of course, Florida, it really shook things up.
Well, if you pay dealer fees you shouldn't have when buying out your leased vehicle, and you may now be entitled to money back. All following a Local 10 News investigation.
Investigator Jeff Weinseer first exposed this story in 2022, and he is back on the case with what's happened.
Our reports back in 2022 focused on dealerships that were charging you undisclosed fees when you bought out your vehicle lease. Those stories got the attention of the state attorney general's office, and now you may be eligible for money back.
But I also know that an agreement is an agreement.
It was back in 2022 during COVID when dealers had few cars to sell and consumers were buying out their vehicle leases in record numbers. You thought, here's the residual, here are the taxes, that's all I'm going to have to pay. That was your assumption.
That's it.
He was wrong. In story after story, consumers told us they were hit with fee after fee, not disclosed in their original lease contract. Dealer prep fees, filing fees, pre-delivery service fees, dock fees. The state attorney general's office launched an official investigation. Lexus of Clearwater and Gunther Motor Company have now settled with the state attorney general's office. Lexus of Clearwater agreeing to pay a total of $73,000 in fines. Gunther settling for $600,000. They were being investigated for charging fees not disclosed in the original lease agreement, telling customers cars needed to be inspected, repaired, and certified at an additional cost, charging a higher purchase price than the buyout price disclosed in the original lease. Gunther must now refrain from imposing any fees not disclosed in the original lease during the lease buyout process. Gunther reached an agreement without admitting wrongdoing. In a statement to Local 10 News, Gunther's attorney said, quote, Gunther Motors is glad to have collaborated with our state regulators and its customers to work through these issues. A resolution was reached that ensures all necessary parties were taken care of, and the matter is now resolved. Insiders say the AG's office rarely takes cases against dealers this far. In fact, in June, the Florida Automobile Dealers Association sent this letter to its members, warning them that the Attorney General's office will take enforcement action against dealers in connection with advertising. Quote, for 20 years, the OAG has taken a predominantly hands-off approach with respect to advertising. That is about to change. The law clearly states advertised prices must include all fees and charges. If you bought out your lease from a Gunther dealership from November 2018 until now, you should be getting a form in the mail from the State Attorney General's office that you need to fill out to see if you're eligible for any money back. If you haven't gotten that, we will have a link to that form on our website at local10.com. In the control room, Jeff Weinseer, Local 10 News.
I feel sure we'll hear more from Jeff Weinseer. He ought to get a Medal of Honor for what he's done to go out there and go after these dealers in South Florida. It cost the Gunther Group $600,000, which is chump change for the Gunther Auto Group. That's a slap on the wrist. These dealerships cumulatively probably make $6 million every month, and he got tapped for $600,000, just chump change. But it got his attention. It embarrassed him. Here he is on television, and here he is on Earl Stewart on Cars. If you are buying a car or leasing a car in South Florida and you have a problem, you need to call Ashley Moody's office, the Attorney General of the state of Florida, and that number is 866-966-7226. 866-966-7226. If the complaints go into Ashley Moody's office and she's put her reputation on the line, that starting September 1st, the law will be enforced in Florida. Hear that, and if you have a problem, call this number. Just for your edification, we are going to be reading and covering a mystery shopping report of Gunther Volkswagen after this thing, so to speak, hit the fan and he was exposed. You'll find out how Agent Lightning fared when she went into Gunther Volkswagen here in South Florida and discussed leasing.